Inflation done. Hello, everybody. David Schuster here. Remember this.
They're all through the roof. The milk, everything is bad. And we're going to straighten it out. We're going to bring prices way down, and we'll get it done fast.
Oops. Headline, International Business Times. Egg prices hit $9 a dozen in California. Quote, the record or near record high prices are causing restaurants to raise prices. Headline, Waffle House adds egg tax as shortage hits. We're in this for a while.
Prices will come down. You just watch. They'll come down, and they'll come down fast.
And it's not just eggs. Prices are rising for fruits and vegetables, too. Headline, The New Republic, Trump's immigration threats are already wrecking the food industry. Immigrant farm workers are too scared to show up to work.
We're going to get the prices down. We have to get them down. It's too much. Groceries, cars, everything. We're going to get the prices down. We will cut your taxes, end inflation, slash your prices.
Actually, the only thing Trump has slashed has been the dominance of U.S. stock markets. Headline, Market Watch, European stocks are beating the U.S. so far this year. Is American exceptionalism dead? Amidst all the U.S. chaos under Trump, top analysts are telling investors to put their money in Europe. Here is Larry Fink, CEO of BlackRock. His company is the world's largest asset manager with over $11 trillion in assets.
I believe it's probably time to be investing back into Europe.
Meanwhile, in the United States, the Federal Reserve is so concerned about Trump economic inflation that the central bank, for the first time in 6 months, refused to lower interest rates.
Longer-term inflation expectations appear to remain well anchored, as reflected in a broad range of surveys of households, businesses, and forecasters, as well as measures from financial markets.
The Fed's refusal to cut rates, as President Trump had wanted, caused Trump to melt down and lash out. Quote, if the Fed had spent less time on DEI, gender ideology, green energy, and fake climate change, inflation would have never been a problem. Experts say the Trump claims are unhinged and ridiculous. But that has been President Trump's approach on most things, never mind the economy.
The U.S. will take over the Gaza Strip, and we will do a job with it, too. We'll own it and be responsible for dismantling all of the dangerous unexploded bombs and other weapons on the site, level the site and get rid of the destroyed buildings, level it out, create an economic development that will supply unlimited numbers of jobs and housing.
You're talking tonight about the United States taking over a sovereign territory. What authority would allow you to do that? Are you talking about a permanent occupation there? Redevelopment?
I do see a long-term ownership position, and I see it bringing great stability to that part of the Middle East.
I think it's the craziest idea I've ever heard in my life. 2 million people living in Gaza, a problem that Israel has, and now we're going to have. We want to own Gaza. We want to take those 2 million people and somehow lure them to go to Jordan or to Egypt. Neither of those countries want them. They don't need Hamas in their country. Hamas is now going to move to Egypt and to Jordan and destroy those countries. Oh, by the way, it's also going to become a new hospitality center along the Mediterranean. I mean, give me a break.
But there are no breaks from the Trump White House. A week earlier, after a commercial aircraft and a military helicopter collided over the Potomac River in Washington, D.C., killing 67 people, President Trump blamed the disaster on diversity.
Mistake.
It's all under investigation.
I understand that. That's why I'm trying to figure out how you can come to the conclusion right now that diversity had something to do with this crash.
Because I have common sense, okay? And unfortunately, a lot of people don't.
Well, a lot of people around the world think that Donald Trump is a lunatic. Another example involves U.S. national security. President Trump is letting Elon Musk run wild and obtain sensitive information from the U.S. Treasury Department and from the Central Intelligence Agency. Musk's team recently disseminated through an unsecured platform the names of undercover CIA officers.
I mean, this could include individuals, as pointed out, the sort of China experts, that have very specific and uncommon ethnic names or an unusual spelling of their names. And they have relocated to the Washington, D.C. area. And so the Chinese counterintelligence experts will go together and put all the pieces that they can pick out from either this unclassified email as well as from other things that are available in the digital dust as a way to identify individuals who now may be working for the CIA. So again, it can compromise the identities and compromise the future professional capabilities of these individuals who have joined the CIA, and now it looks like, since it's focused on the last 2 years, this is part of, again, the Trump administration's revenge activities against individuals that may have been hired during the Biden administration.
Now, the majority of Americans who voted for Donald Trump may not care if the president's team is outing covert CIA officers or if Trump is inflaming the Middle East over Gaza, or even if Donald Trump is exploiting the deaths of 67 people killed in an air disaster. However, the number one issue in the last election was the economy. And a majority of American voters said they were going with Trump because they believed he was going to reduce prices. Now, instead of everyday food prices dropping, they are going even higher. The U.S. stock market, where half of all Americans invest their savings, is now being outperformed by markets in Europe. And consumer confidence, which is another key driver of the U.S. economy, is plummeting.